One of the earliest memories I have of being read to was with my grandpa. My grandpa was starting to lose his eyesight and now he's completely lost it. But when I was younger, he still had some, and I had a favorite book that had a monster's face, and as you flip through, the monster's face would disappear. And I asked him to read it to me, and he said, "Oh no, I don't think I can do that." And I was like, very stubborn, "Yes, you can." And so he did, and we sat down together, and it's a pretty special memory to me. I am a bookworm. I love reading. It's a brain break. I didn't really become an avid reader until 8th grade, but after beginning on the Harry Potter series, I just flew off from there. I reread all 7 books at least 4 or 5 times within less than a year. I loved that book series because of the character development and J.K. Rowling's writing style. And it made me love reading way more. As far as when and how I learned to read, I started off with a speech therapist, but then I ended up being in a preschool with other students who struggled with speech therapy to be an example student because of my large vocabulary and because I was a very talkative 4-year-old. Kindergarten, I remember being read to. I remember my mom reading books to me growing up, and even all the way into 8th grade, I had teachers who would read stories to us, and I loved that. Sometime in between 3rd and 6th grade, I started reading on my own. The people who helped me along the way to become a reader were my mom. She reads a book before she goes to bed. Not the whole book, but she reads part of it. And I remember her reading to me. My grandpa, because I have that special memory with him. Teachers were very influential in my reading because they really introduced me to it and showed me books I wouldn't have read otherwise. My earliest writing attempt was at church. I would practice writing cursive, and I'd make a bunch of swirlies on the page. I remember in kindergarten tracing the alphabet and beginning to write the letters and memorizing what the alphabet was. And then in 1st grade and 2nd grade continuing that, and in 2nd grade starting to write in cursive. And then in 3rd grade really becoming proficient at writing in cursive. The first time I remember writing something that other people liked was in 6th grade. We still had the DARE program at our school. And one of the things you did at the end of the program was write an essay on why you shouldn't do drugs. My older brothers, their essays had won, and if your essay wins, you read it to the whole school. So my twin and I both wanted to do well on it, and both of our essays were selected. The one person who really influenced my writing was Mrs. Nelson, my 8th grade teacher. When it came to grading our papers, she was brutal. But she taught us how to write a thesis statement, how to have head paragraphs and head sentences, and good word counts and different things within a paragraph. She honestly prepared me for college, so she was really influential in my writing experience. As far as digital literacy, I was born in the wrong digital age. If I ever have any questions, I either Google it or I talk to my brothers. One of them's a computer science major, and the other 2 spend a lot of time on technology. And even my dad has a Twitter, and I hadn't had one until EdTech. So yeah, I think I really started using the computer honestly in about 4th grade. In 4th grade, we would have to take a computer class and learn how to type, and they would put an orange cover on the keyboard so that you had to actually memorize the numbers. Some of my other early experiences using technology include just talking on the phone. I think getting on the computer to play really easy games. And if I wanted to play with my brothers, that meant either playing the Nintendo 64 or begging them to take me to the pool. I also remember Frogger. That was really big at my elementary school, and after school care program, we would play that. That was most of my technology use up until high school. In high school, technology usage changed drastically for me. We used Google Classroom, Edmodo, all sorts of different websites, ways to check our grades online. That's when you saw us using MacBooks. Each student was distributed one my senior year. That's when I got my first cell phone, which was pretty huge. And it wasn't till college that I got my first smartphone, actually, which was probably good because I could focus on studying. Also, the way I communicated with my classmates was really different. We would use the MacBook and the iMessage on there to communicate, or use Google Docs to work on group projects. Technology made collaboration a lot easier. My abilities to read, write, speak even, have been the result of a lot of people in my life who are willing to dedicate time in order to help me be an independent individual.